I will bring you that story subsequently. Here in Lagos, the Court of Appeal has discharged and acquitted the medical director of Optimal Cancer Care Foundation, Dr. Olufemi Olaleye, following a successful appeal challenging his conviction and life sentence for defilement and sexual assault of a minor. Femi has details.
It was a unanimous decision of the Court of Appeal comprising of Justice Jimmy Dada, who delivered the lead judgment, as well as Justices Abdul Dogo and Mohammed Abubakar, in determining all the 5 grounds of appeal in the favor of the appellant. The court accused Mrs. Olaleye, the first prosecution witness, of scheming to take over her husband's assets and custody of the children in a calculated manner. She was described as a witness whose evidence should have been treated with considerable caution. The court added that such evidence and that of the alleged survivor needs corroboration to establish the elements of penetration and lack of consent before the sexual offenses could stand. The appellate court also faulted the evidence of the child forensic witness, describing it as hearsay, and the quote, worthless evidence of the medical doctor who examined the alleged victim. It queried why the prosecution failed to present material witnesses such as the divisional police officer in whose office the appellant had made the alleged confession and a relative of Mrs. Olaleye who heard the alleged confession. The appellate court said there was material contradictions in the evidence gathered by the prosecution, which shouldn't have been relied on by the lower court. In the words of the appellate justices, the trial judge Raman Oshodi of the Lagos State Sexual and Special Offences Court descended in the arena and interfered in the proceedings to bridge what it called the yawning gaps in the prosecution's case. The lower court had held that the Lagos State government had proved the charge against the defendant and that the evidence against him was compelling, saying at the time that Dr. Olaleye's confessional statements before his former counsel, Olale Koburuji, and the DPO at the Anthony Police Station in Lagos proved that he committed the offenses. But in Friday's judgment, the Court of Appeal overruled that position, saying instead that the trial within trial ought to have been conducted at the lower court to verify the voluntariness of the appellant's confessional statements while in police custody, which he said he had made under duress after he had been detained for 6 days. This, the court said, was in the spirit of Section 36, subsection 6 of the 1999 Constitution as amended, which dictates that fair hearing also be afforded to the defendant during a criminal trial. Kemi Foladeyemo, TVC News, Lagos.
We're back to the